Countdown. Hello, welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show, where I'll be able to talk politics with you all. My favorite pastime. It wouldn't happen any other way. But I want to talk about something that's very alarming when it comes to what's going on in social media, and I want to talk about a crisis and then offer some solutions to this crisis. Now, Hasan Piker, you know who Hasan Piker is, and Vaush, you know who Vaush is, especially if you watch this channel and you're ideologically akin, or even if you're a critic on the other side, kind of familiar with the online political culture, you know who Hasan Piker and who Vaush, who they are. And you probably know by now what's happened. Now, Hasan Piker, a streamer on both Twitch and YouTube, the nephew of Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks, was banned from Twitch. Get this. He was banned from Twitch for saying cracker. I'm not kidding you. He was banned. I'm going to repeat that. He was banned from Twitch for saying cracker. Well, Vaush knew was bullshit, and I saw his response, and basically he was saying, this is really sucks what happened to Hasan Piker in regard to the situation with the being banned for saying the word cracker. And guess what? They did the same thing to Vaush as well. Now, as you know, as you hear me have said this in the past almost 2 years of running this program, under various names. My program now is the Willie Bragg Show. So here's your opportunity to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're a first timer. I promise you, you'll have a good show. I've improved since day one. But anyway, as you know, in my previous namesakes for this show, I was called Bernie Bro, and then I became American Social Democracy. Now I am the Willie Bragg Show, and that's the name that's going to stick. I've always been opposed to censorship. I am a First Amendment absolutist, and there's that's the hill I die on. When it comes to the First Amendment, I am uncompromising on that issue. Now, the thing about it is that it was bullshit 3 years ago when they gave Alex Jones the zap on social media. I don't like Alex Jones, but I was opposed to them taking down his whole channel. And I'm opposed to anybody's channel being taken down, because it is usually politically motivated when it happens. Now, am I a fan of Hasan Piker? I don't dislike Hasan Piker, but he's not necessarily one of the people I go out of my way to listen to on the online left. But apparently, with issues like Julian Assange, he's nominally okay on the issue that he favors Julian Assange being freed, but he has a problem with some of us on the left being obsessed over what he perceives as being obsessed over Julian Assange, referring to followers of Julian Assange as weirdo fascists, and it's a roundabout way to sit there and bash people like Jimmy Dore with what they call a red-brown alliance. No such a thing. I'm tired of people calling Jimmy Dore and Glenn Greenwald fascists. Just because you go on Tucker Carlson doesn't make you a fascist. Just because you don't think that a Republican, that the average Republican are all white nationalists, doesn't make you a fascist. And I don't think that the average Republican's a fascist either. They're just wrong on virtually everything, whether they're moderate or firm conservative. They're wrong, but they're not all fascists. There are fascists within the Republican Party, but the Republican Party is not. I have said it that they were fascists. They have fascist elements, but the average Republican is not a fascist. And for some reason, there are people on the left that get triggered by this. Now, Vaush, I have a problem with Vaush. Although I like Vaush a little bit better than Hasan Piker, I have a problem with Vaush when it comes to things like wanting to sponsor a CIA coup against Russia. I mean, I don't think that the State Department's going to be listening to Vaush and taking his advice to heart. I mean, if they did it, it's not because Vaush suggested it, but Vaush is very wrong on this CIA sponsored coup attempt on Russia. He was wrong on Syria, and Jackson Hinkle had to go and correct him on that as well. But the thing about it is that Hasan Piker, the difference between Hasan Piker and Vaush, and I'm not the biggest fan of either Hasan Piker nor Vaush, but the thing about it is that Hasan Piker is pro-censorship. I mean, and I'm using the word, he's kind of a shit lib. Not all shit libs are necessarily terrible, but he's a shit lib, and he's what you call part of the regressive left, or what they call social justice warrior back in the day. Vaush is a dirtbag leftist. He's also a shit lib too. Kind of a little bit of both. But I will say this for Vaush. In spite of Vaush's wrong takes on things like Syria and Russia, Vaush, I give him credit. At least he is a free speech absolutist for what I've been exposed to. And, there's, any leftist that's a free speech absolutist that gives me a positive perspective on them. I haven't given up hope on Vaush. Vaush has a lot of takes that I disagree with, but for what I can tell, Vaush is a First Amendment absolutist, and on that one, I'm going to be more inclined to be more pro-Vaush than I am Hasan Piker. But the thing about it is, when it comes to the right in this country, the very people that they beat their chests, they're alpha. They beat their chests. They say they're against censorship. When it comes right down to it, they are for censorship. Yeah, I can guarantee you. And the thing about it is this. Do y'all think for a second? Do you think for a second that motherfuckers like Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro or Dinesh D'Souza, do you really think for a second that people like those three clowns are for free speech? Let me tell you, social media is not going out of their way to hush them up. But they'll do that to Hasan Piker. They'll do that to Vaush. They did that to the Combo Couch. They did that to various, you know, left wing forums online. And if they don't do it by flat out banning, they did things like the apocalypse back in 2017. It was, and people like Kyle Kalinske and David Pakman and some of these folks got demonetized. Tim Black, about a year ago, half a year ago, something like that, also complained about being demonetized. So censorship comes in various fashions and methods, but I can guarantee you, the social media is not going out of their way. Even if I think that Silicon Valley particularly likes Dinesh D'Souza or Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder. I would be a liar to say no. They love those guys. No, they they're social liberals in the flakiest concept of the word. And I'm gonna tell you, they don't care about. I mean, they won't go after people like Dave Rubin or Candace Owens, nor should they. I'm just saying. But from all those folks, do you think that they care about the censorship against the left? Well, let me tell you what comes out of the likes of Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Dinesh D'Souza, Candace Owens, or Dave Rubin. This is their take on censorship against the left when it happens. You got it. In other words, they don't care. They do not care. And thing about it is that, there's no outrage from the right because they're okay with censorship. They want to sound like they're pro free speech, but usually, most of the time, they're for their own freedom of speech. Now, do I think that most people, if you compare collectively the right and collectively the left, would the right be more pro free speech than the left? Well, this is the way I look at it. I think that maybe most conservatives are probably slightly more on the side of free speech than their left wing counterpart overall, but that's not. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of people on the left that are pro free speech too. And the thing about it is, to the right screams how they're for free speech and against censorship. But the thing about it is that they don't care about the free speech of the left. They only care about their own freedom of speech. Now, the thing about it is, as a leftist, yeah, I'm selfish too. And I care about my freedom of speech. This is all the more reasons why I defend the free speech of people that I dislike on the right. And anybody who's on the left or on the right who are in favor of free speech. And I know that there are people on the right that are in favor of free speech consistently across the board. I got no beef against those conservatives. I may disagree with them on healthcare. I may disagree with them on some social issues here and there, on policy matters, taxation, regulation. How much the government should be involved in the economy, that sort of thing. Yeah, I would take issue with them. But if they're for freedom of speech, I got no beef against them. And the thing about it is, there's a lot of people that I am kind of okay and like on the left that unfortunately they do like censorship. But you know what? I can work with those people on the left on issues that I agree with. Maybe things like healthcare, things like that. But the thing about it is this: that whether you're on the left or you're on the right, and you're sitting there and you're being okay with censorship, remember, it'll come back to bite you in the ass, no matter what side because you want to be consistent. And for people on the left who are pro censorship, when you are open and you're glad that ugly voices on the right are shut down, not only do you make a victim out of the right, they win the public relations battle. And I want to defeat the right with our superior ideas, the power of persuasion. That's what it comes down to. I have no fear about my politics, that I can stand against them. I mean, I offer my politics, and you know what? I know that they can't shoot it down because I'm correct. So, and the thing about it is that when those on the left are favoring censorship, they're pretty much admitting that they don't have anything to stand on, and they're scared to lose, and they rather shut people up, and that's they win. The right wins with that public relations battle. I am tired of the right winning, and that's what it comes down to. Now, what are some solutions to this? Well, I would say that the solution to the to censorship across the board would be this. And Kyle Kalinske have said this on his program many times. So it's Jimmy Dore. And Jimmy Dore's talking about a digital bill of rights. I'm in favor of a digital bill of rights. I'm in favor of regulating social media as a public utility, which is what Kyle Kalinske advocates. Doesn't mean that the government takes over the social media companies. It doesn't mean that. But what it means basically is that both social media and content creators will be protected. That the social media will be protected from lawsuits, and social media being the arena of ideas as the new public square, content makers can use this as their cyber soapbox to bring out their ideas and to have them debate it fully. And I favor that. And I think that exchanges of ideas, even ideas that I find absolutely horrible, needs to be discussed. When I was in London in 2006, I believe it's called Hyde Park, where people can go to a podium and to talk about whatever. One of the things about England that's bothering me these days is that they're a kind of censorious society. They do censor a little more than they used to, and I'm a little worried about that, and I wish that they would walk away from that. But I didn't get a chance to go to the podium, and I think it was like open to the public. Well, the thing about it is that I want something like that online where we can air out our ideas and let the best ideas win by the power of persuasion. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And as I said, I just think it's bullshit that what happened to Hasan Piker and Vaush with regard to their Twitch account being taken down. And I know that there are some people on the right they're just salivating over this. And I don't salivate when right-wing people that I disagree with. Their ideas are horrendous, but I do not salivate when they're taken down. And I don't go with this argument, terms of agreements, well, that's the right of that company. One of my mottos is free speech rights over property rights. It's like free speech all the way, fuck property rights if it gets in the way of free speech rights. And that's where I am. So, anyway, that's pretty much what I got to say about that. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, well, comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel as the First Amendment absolutist. It's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, help make this channel grow. And I want to say hello and a shout out to Les Bones, how are you doing this morning? Um, Great seeing you again. Um, and yeah, hope everything's going well for you this coming weekend. Um, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And I know some people on the other side will get upset when they're like, "Happy Holidays!" Ah! They will do that, you know. So anyway, hope you're doing well, and hey, get that account created that so you can go ahead and do your political commentary. I think it's a great way to kind of just kind of release some stress in my life doing this, and that's why I do it. And I think that most people that do this is a way to release their own personal stress in life, and in that regard, I wish they would have had that years ago. So, hey, Les Bones, if you do me a favor, I would appreciate it. If you could just leave a comment in a few minutes, maybe later on today on this video, so I can go and subscribe to your channel, and that way I'll be able to do that, and have to communicate too and all that. So, anyway, I just want to say, everybody, have a great weekend. I am going to be on and off online with the holidays going on. I am so sorry. With the holidays here and everything's gone crazy. So overwork, not enough sleep, that sort of thing. Y'all have a great weekend. Take it easy.